Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Mukesh English. In this video, I'm going to have a discussion of March-April 2023 examination question paper of third semester BCA B.Sc, Generic English, NEP syllabus under Bangalore University. So the section A, that is with reference to the play Pygmalion, and the section 1 under this, answer any 5 questions in one of the 2 sentences. Each question is for 2 marks. Now the first question, what was the note taker mistaken to be? The note taker was mistaken to be a policeman or an informer or a spy. Where was the flower girl born? According to the observation of the note taker, the flower girl was born at Listen Grow, according to the observation of the note taker. Why did Liza or Eliza come to meet Mr. Higgins? Prompted by Mr. Higgins' careless show off about making her into Duchess the night before, she has come to take lessons from Higgins so that she may sound well mannered enough to work in a flower shop rather than sell at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. Who was Alfred Doolittle? Alfred Doolittle was Eliza's father in Pygmalion. What was the work assigned to Nepomuk by the hostess of the embassy party? The embassy party hostess instructs him to find out all about her, meaning the mysterious guest Eliza. So what is the work was given to him? To find out to get more information about the mysterious girl Eliza or the mysterious guest Eliza. Question number 6. Why was Mr. Doolittle all dressed up? Because he's on his way to get married to his woman. Whom did Eliza plan to marry and why? While Higgins always treated Eliza like a flower girl, Pickering treated her like a lady. Higgins denies any difference in treatment, and Eliza announces she'll marry Freddie because he loves her. She says she was foolish to think she needed Higgins and will never see him again. That's the reason that she plans to marry Freddie. Now the option 2 or the section 2, answer any 2 questions of the following questions. Any 2 you need to opt, each for 5 marks. So here 3 questions will be given. You need to opt the 2 questions under this. Question number 1, what kind of man was Mr. Higgins? That means to say you need to draw the character sketch of Mr. Higgins. So professor by trade, Higgins is a man of many talents. He's a writer, scholar, and a speech therapist. His acumen is highlighted by his books and the work he has done with some famous personalities. He's a teacher of linguistics and phonetics and likes to observe how people talk and behave with each other. He strikes a close relationship with Pickering, the only one he shows respect. Even though he's intelligent and skilled at his work, he lacks basic social skills of respect and softness. He's rude and treats others as inferior. He's disrespectful to others and treats them as things. He uses them for his own purpose and whim and then discards them as objects. He's also skeptical about people's motives and inattentions. He finds people to be hypocrites and selfish and devoid of any true compassion or empathy. He's also very cynical about social hierarchy and the traditions and conservative attitude. He rejects their morals and values and mocks them by grooming Eliza to become a part of them. However, he does not feel any compassion or affection toward, even though he suffers from an emotional outburst when Eliza returns his gift, that is a ring. Question number 2. Why was Mr. Doolittle unhappy about his new status? Mr. Doolittle is upset at being turned into a wealthy gentleman. He says that he used to be free, but is now worried. Has people asking him for money all the time and has to see doctors. He says that family members have suddenly turned up to ask him for money and scoffs at middle class morality. Mr. Doolittle exposes all of the problems that come with moving up the social ladder. He thus critiques the assumptions that gaining wealth and becoming more upper class is necessarily desirable. Question number three for 5 marks. Why was Mrs. Pierce worried about Higgins taking charge of Eliza? Mrs. Pierce was anxious because Higgins knew nothing about Eliza's background. Eliza was shabby clothes. She wore shabby clothes and did not appear to belong to a noble family. It was as if they were picking up a pebble on the beach. Mrs. Pierce asked Higgins to behave with good manners so while Eliza is around, for example, not to come to breakfast in his dressing gown and use it as as a napkin. Flustered, Higgins says that he doesn't do such things habitually, but agrees to be particularly careful before the girl. Mrs. Pierce has to remind the rude Higgins to set a good example for Eliza if she's to learn to act like a well behaved lady. The play is constantly poking holes in the idea of the upper class and their own self conception as naturally having good manners because they are upper class. Write a note on Mrs. Higgins means to say a character sketch of Mrs. Higgins. Mrs. Higgins' mother, Mrs. Higgins, is an intelligent and independent woman with a high position in society. She hosts the Insford Hills at a rich home, a kind of party. Even though the woman is truly upset with Eliza's presence, she is always kind to her. She merely knows what it means to be a woman in London of those times, and she's afraid of the future that awaits for Eliza. Even more, she does her best to explain to the son that Eliza is not an object or his possession, that he must treat her equally to others, taking into account her feelings. The mother also truly loves her son, although she is truly upset with his manners, language, and behavior. From some point of view, Mrs. Higgins is a traditional mother figure who cares the most about his son. She tries throughout the story to warn the son of the consequences of his actions. One more fact that proves that Mrs. Higgins is truly a kind of sympathetic person is that Eliza listens to her when she wants good advice from an old lady. She feels that the lady is sincere with her desire to help and find the support, talking with her about the problems. Now we are moving to the third section of the play where you will be given about three questions. Out of the three questions, you need to attempt one and you need to write the answer in two of the 3 pages, each for 10 marks. So now let's go for the question number one. Eliza is just a professional experiment to Higgins' comment. In Pygmalion, Henry Higgins is Shaw's Pygmalion and Eliza Doolittle is his Galatea. Henry Higgins teaches Eliza how to speak proper English and shapes her to fit into the middle class morality from a gutter snip, just as Pygmalion creates a beautiful statue from an ugly piece of rock. While the transformation of Eliza is in process, Higgins uses many phonetical instruments such as phonograph, uh, laryngoscope, a row of tiny organ pipes with bellows, and a set of lamp chimneys for singing flames, for burners, etc. Before Eliza first encounters Mr. Higgins, she has been simply dirty yet caring girl. During her time with both Mr. Higgins and Colonel Pickering, Eliza did change. For the first few weeks of her stay in Wimpole Street, she questions everything that Higgins asked her to do and generally couldn't see how they would help her. Later, Eliza begins to understand that Higgins, as harsh is he, trying to do his best to teach her and should should be respected. After the ambassador's ball or the dance party, we see more of the old Eliza resurfacing. Eliza's basic character remains relatively unchanged. When Eliza first comes to Higgins to learn how to speak properly, Professor Higgins asks her to leave immediately, even ask Colonel Pickering, shall we ask this baggage to sit down or shall we throw her out of the window? Because she speaks Cockney and does not know how to behave properly. She's a squashed cabbage leaf, as Professor Higgins describes her. But finally, after training Eliza for 3 months, they decide to try out her improvement and takes her to Mrs. Higgins' house, where she proved that she has learned to speak properly, but at the same time, she has not learned what and what is not to talk about. She even uses the word bloody when Freddie asks her if she would like to walk across the park. Eliza shows little emotion towards a wager set by Pickering. She merely thanks him for offering to pay for the lessons. She realizes that she can only accomplish her dream of working as a lady in a flower shop. Higgins can shape her into a lady. Higgins did change Eliza. Originally, she was a kind of innocent girl trying to stay alive in the gutter of London. She's merely a tool used to enhance Higgins' reputation in society. Now, at the end of the play, she becomes overpowering to Higgins. Her beauty becomes murderous as Higgins realizes that she's leaving. He's portrayed to the end as an ignorant fool when, even after all is said and done, he still hides his feelings, mocking Eliza for wanting Freddie. Question number 2, again for 10 marks. Analyze Eliza's transformation from a flower girl to a duchess at the embassy party. Embassy party. A Cockney flower girl of around 18 or 20 years of age, Eliza is streetwise and energetic. She's not educated by traditional standards, but she's intelligent and a quick learner as she presents herself in a shoddy coat at Higgins' laboratory. Bernard Shaw describes the pathos of this deplorable figure with its innocent vanity and consequential air. She learns a gentle accent from Higgins and washed and dressed exquisitely, passes in society for a duchess. In this transformed state, she is shown to be capable of inspiring awe in the observer. While she wins Higgins' wager for him, she is shocked to find him lose interest in her once the experiment is complete. She cannot believe that he has given no thought to her future well being. Pickering, by having been polite to her from the very beginning, provides a contrast from which Eliza is able to realize that the difference between a lady and a flower girl is not how she behaves, is how she is treated. She learns from Higgins' behavior an even deeper truth that social graces and class are not the true measure of a person's worth. Now let's have a discussion for the question number 3. How is the shallowness of upper class represented in Pygmalion? That is one of the themes of this whole play as well. In comparing the Edwardian era, that is the early 20th century, to the modern age, we can see that some distinct social constructs and class systems are present in both. However, social and class related barriers are noticeably more porous in today's world. George Bernard Shaw's most famous play, Pygmalion, which is set in Edwardian times, was perhaps a harbinger of this progressive shift in its vigorous attempts to discredit and expose the superficiality of the class separations. The heroine of the play, Eliza Doolittle, undergoes a dramatic and severe transformation from a draggle-tailed gutter snipe to an unrecognizably polished lady, but she ultimately fails to integrate smoothly into the society which she idolized at the play's beginning. Through the character of Eliza and the treatment of Eliza by the upper class, Bernard Shaw exposes the superficiality of a class system which is underpinned by a very shallow preoccupation with appearance and language. While it is evident from the preface that Bernard Shaw places great value on the power of language and the respect that it commands, through Pygmalion and its characters such as Doolittle, we also learn that control and mastery of language are not the be all and all of a person's character. High society, however, seems not to notice this, and it is not the cursory judgment of others by members of the upper class that Bernard Shaw aims to condemn through the Pygmalion. The upper class in Edwardian society generally held a steadfastly negative view of the poor like Eliza. It was presumed that in order to make ends meet, someone like Eliza would have resorted to selling her body. Eliza, however, breaks this mold, and the audience becomes privy to Eliza's seemingly unusual self respect. Furthermore, a sense of Eliza's aspiration is conveyed through the fashion board of dresses far beyond her means, which she keeps in a bleak lodgings and by the American alarm clock. These possessions show her idealization of the upper society's culture. Combined with her morality, her aspirations present to the audience a character who is almost worthy of the upper class, her potential, integrity, obscured by the roughness of her appearance and language. Once Eliza's qualities are revealed, the way in which Eliza is treated by the members of the upper class is examined and is meant to be viewed by the audience as unjustified. The external features of Eliza, such as her speech and appearance, are what impede her being accepted by the higher class. The rejection she experiences is fundamentally a product of superficiality of the obsession of the upper class with outward appearances despite morality, tenacity, and general amiability. The character of Doolittle, Eliza's father, diametrically opposes that of his daughter. He is neither moral nor ambitious. He does not claim to be one of the deserving poor, instead, working just enough to be able to splurge or on a drinking spree now and again, and he rejects any substantial amount of money for fear of the need for better behavior that would come with it. He does, however, have an unusual affinity for language, as Higgins puts it. A certain natural gift of rhetoric hints towards the upper class preoccupation with language are lain when Higgins states that with his natural talent for poetic and persuasive speech, Doolittle could choose between a seat in the cabinet and a popular pulpit in Wales under his teaching, conveying the overwhelming focus of high society on language. So many parallels can be drawn between the character of Eliza Doolittle and the upper class. She respects herself and her moral integrity is constantly conveyed through her protestations against Higgins' stereotypical treatment of her. Even though the upper class essentially considered itself the paradigm of morality and virtue, the barrier between Eliza being accepted into higher social milieu is not a lack of morals, but a speech and appearance. Higgins' phonetic clients similarly give themselves away every time they open their mouths. The upper class inability to accept Eliza, despite her alignment with so many of their supposed views, is made even more ironic and more noticeably shallow when her father makes a roaring success of himself among the upper class. So, through Pygmalion and through these two characters, Bernard Shaw takes a scathing criticism of the superficiality of the upper class under the guise of the comedy and the drama of the play. Okay, now we are moving to the questions from the persuasive speeches, and here four questions will be given, and out of the four questions, you need to attempt two questions, each for the 5 marks. Here, the question number one: what risk Priyanka Chopra Jonas take in her life? Priyanka Chopra took the stage in Delhi to deliver the 11th edition of the prestigious Penguin Annual Lecture. In a lecture on breaking the glass ceiling, chasing a dream, She spoke about being feisty and fearless, as well as about sexism and racism in the film industry to an audience of starstruck fans. In this speech, she also quotes, "Fight for your dreams because no one else is going to fight for your dreams except you." Mentioning the rule number six, she says, "Fail, fail, fail again, and then then rise like a phoenix." She believed in taking risk, but a calculated, educated risk to resolve. She mentions that because if you have not truly explored the full extent of of your possibilities, you will always remain stagnant. Priyanka shares her experience when she played a negative role in a film Etraj. She was told that no one would cast her as a heroine in future. When she took on a female-centric film called Fashion again, very early on her career, she was told that was not the norm. So when she signed a US TV show at the height of her film career in India, each time the risks were huge, the stakes were high, and the repercussions could have been, to say not the least, career ending. She comments that she was backed up those risks with 100%. Hence, she motivates the audience to take a risk, but a calculated and educated risk to resolve. Second question from the speech sections: how were Kiran Bedi's parents influential in shaping her life? Kiran Bedi followed her father and mother as a role model. Once they said, "Life is on an incline. You either go up or you come down." And the second thing which has stayed with her, which became her philosophy of life, which made all the difference, is 100 things happen in your life, good or bad. Out of 100, 90 are your creation. They are good. They are your creation. Enjoy it. If they are bad, they are your creation. Learn from it. 10 are nature sent over which you cannot do a thing. It's like a death of a relative, or a cyclone, or a hurricane, or an earthquake. You cannot do a thing about it. You have got to just respond to the situation. But that response comes out of those 90 points, since she is the product of this philosophy of 90 by 10, 90/10. Secondly, life on an incline. That's the way she grew up to be, valuing what she got. She's a product of opportunities, rare opportunities in the 50s and the 60s, which girls didn't get. She was conscious of the fact that what her parents were giving her was something unique, because all of her best school friends were getting doled up to get married with a lot of dowry. And here she was with a tennis racket and going to school and doing all kinds of extracurricular activities. This is how her parents played a vital role in Kiran Bedi's life. Question number three: why does Greta Thunberg feel that young people are betrayed? Greta Thunberg has excoriated world leaders for the betrayal of young people through their disinterest over the climate crisis at a United Nations summit that failed to deliver ambitious new commitments to address dangerous global heating. In a stinging speech, the teenage Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg told governments that you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is. You are failing us, but the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. So this is how we have discussed the 40 marks question paper. Now we are moving up to the workbook section, section B, speaking writing skill, and the fifth section, the fifth question is the presentation skill. Here two questions are given. Answer any one of the following questions, each for 5 marks. So prepare PowerPoint presentation on the importance of the COVID vaccination. So one topic is given here. You need to draft the 5 slides manually where you can add the pictures. So the first slide, you mention the name of the topic presented by. Second slide onwards, you can look at the screen. The second slide onwards, you can divide the content. Then the third slide, fourth slide, and finally fifth slide, and the last slide could be the thanks slide or any question slide. So when you are drafting this question here, preferably you draw some images, um, uh, design it, decorate it in some different way, like capital letters, small letters, shade the slides, make the boxes, and divide your content into the slides. Another question you have here, write write a presentation on a road safety topic. So topic is road safety presented by XYZ. So you mention here what is road safety, then you mention, you draw some picture, give some sort of example, live example, and the causes for the road safety, then what are the steps to be taken to prevent the road accidents. And again, I have mentioned that possibly draw some image to make your presentation slides more effective in the last slides. Thank you slide, though it's a question for 5 marks, so preferably 6 to 8 slides you can draw. Next question you have here, you need to write paragraph writing, and you need to attempt to any one question. You have a choice here. So the question is here, life without gadget. So you can write the paragraph based on the hints given on the question paper. So life without gadgets can be difficult for some people, as technology plays an important role in many aspects of daily life. However, it can also be a great opportunity to disconnect from technology and focus on other things, such as spending time with family and friends, reading, and enjoying nature. Without technology, people may find themselves more present in the moment and less distracted by notifications and other digital distractions. Additionally, some people may find that they are more productive and creative without the constant pull of technology. Overall, it can be mixed experience, but it can also have some benefits. So you can write the paragraph in 100, 200 words without having any kind of grammatical errors. Use more linkers to make your writing content more effective. So similarly, you have another question here, paragraph on the question on the topic Indian movies versus Hollywood movies. It's a comparative paragraph. Bollywood refers to the Indian film industry based in Mumbai, while Hollywood refers to the American film industry based in Los Angeles. There are several differences between Bollywood and Hollywood movies, including language, cultural references, style. Bollywood movies are typically made in Hindi, while Hollywood movies are generally made in English. Bollywood movies often incorporate music and dance into the narratives, while Hollywood movies tend to focus more on action, special effects. Additionally, Bollywood movies often reflect Indian culture and values, while Hollywood movies often reflect American culture and values. So it's a comparative paragraph. Now, the next question you have here, letter writing. Again, here you have a choice. Two questions are given. Out of the two questions, you need to attempt one. Draft an order letter from Color World, New Delhi to Modern Furniture, Noida, ordering furniture for the new office. So it's a letter for order. It's a order letter. You need to order. So the same as per the format. The first one is the sender's address, Color World, New Delhi. Then the date, the recipient address, Modern Furnitures, Noida. Then the salutation, dear sir, subject placing an order for furniture. Then you have body of the letter. I'm placing an order for the supply of the following items of furniture for the office. The items must conform to the specifications mentioned in your tender. Please keep in view that the material used should be of high quality. All the wooden items should be in sagwan wood. The items should be delivered within a month. We expect a reasonable discount. We'll make a cash payment. The defective items will not be accepted at any cost. Thank you, yours sincerely. So better you follow the left margin format, which is mentioned here. Then in option to the order letter, you have another question here, complaint letter. Write a complaint letter to Daffodils Enterprises from Mehta Electrical about the damaged product received. So Mehta Electricals, Chamarajpet, Bangalore is the sender. Date 11 April 2023. Receiver, the sales manager. I have forgotten to mention the article. The sales manager. Please note it. The sales manager. Daffodils Enterprises, Margary Road, Bangalore. Dear sir, subject complaint regarding the order dated 1st April 2023. With reference to the invoice number 2233 dated 1st April 2023, we had ordered 70 table fans and received only 68. Two numbers are found less. It has affected our supply to the next customer. We would like to bring to your kind notice that it's the summer season and there is a great demand of fans. In this situation, we have not received the proper supply from you. Hence, you are requested to supply the remaining two table fans in this week and avoid such mistakes in future. Thank you. Yours truly. Now we are moving to the last question, the eighth section, where you have two options here: advertisement or advertisement product. Advertisement or advertisement product manual, or you can say the brochure writing. As per this question paper, so draft an advertisement for the position of telecaller at Novel Technologies. So when you're drafting, you make a box and try to draw some picture, highlight the requirements and mention that urgently required, wanted, urgent requirement, mention the qualification, the meeting date, or to which email ID the resume should be sent, when is the interview if required. Then another question you have here: design a brochure for travel agency about various South India trip packages. So like this, I have taken up this picture from Google. You need to draw in the examination. Better you draw it and you mention all the details which are required for any of the brochure, like the particular one place to another place, the fare, the price, or any other kind of offers, and the contact number, and the in any kind of email ID or any specific information. So dear friends, this is how I have tried to solve the question paper of third semester BCA B.Sc examination March 2023 and the Bangalore University. And moreover, I have also pasted all the links of all the lessons of third semester BSc, BSc BCom, BSc BCA in the description box. Kindly go through the description box. You'll find the videos, you'll find the links of all the videos which I have done with respect to the third semester BCA BSc syllabus. So for more detail, you can refer to the topics individually by clicking those videos links. Go through the description box. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you good luck for the examination. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.